What's up, everyone? Skyville here. We have like 40 minutes to talk about Arcane before I have to do something else. So, let's get into it. So I finally watched Arcane. I knew it existed for a while. I just hadn't gotten to it because it was on Netflix. But like I saw this and I'll probably link it down below. AMV of Jinx from Arcane to her theme song. Get Jinx. And I was like, yeah, I need to watch this now. I'm obsessed with this character already. So that's what we're gonna talk about. First of all, I love Jinx's like style, like her nails. That are chipped from before. I like the way she builds things. I like her aesthetic. Her pigtails, her new haircut. Love her outfits, all of them, so cute. I like the way they portrayed her mental illness. I like how it's not like, it's specific to like what happened to her, and that like everyone's like trying to diagnose her with one thing or two. I think most people have agreed PTSD, possibly schizophrenic. But, there's no like defined thing, which is good because like not everyone's thing fits a textbook definition, and it doesn't need to. Do you understand? And I like how we get to see like young Powder. And I know a lot of people like to say, oh, there's two different personalities. I'm like, I don't really think so. You know what I mean? She just changed her name. Or like adopted a persona, you know what I mean? Or like a different side of her. She leaned more into a different side of her, but she didn't abandon Powder. Like, one of the creators said she wants to be both, you know what I mean? She wants Jinx's strength, and she wants like Powder's cariness. She wants to be both. It's everyone else who wants her to be one or the other, you know what I mean? Particularly in season 1. You know, she wants to be strong, because strength is what is valued by everyone around her. And we see that if the value was something else, she would thrive in the different timeline. And everyone like, wow, this Powder is so different, and I'm like, not like at the core of who the character is, you know what I mean? Like, physically she's different because she's better taken care of, and like she doesn't have like muscles because she doesn't have to fight. I think she's a little shorter than Jinx is. You know what I mean? But she's happier. Because she's had a happier life even though she lost Vi. And still lost her parents the same way. And we know she's attached to Vi because they lost her parents in the opening scene. And like during season 1, it was more made to feel like Jinx was Silco's daughter and not really, and that Vi was Vandal's. But like in season 2, you realize Jinx is equally Vandal's daughter. In Jinx's mind, she has her parents, she has Vandal, and she has Silco as parental figures. Probably equally, you know what I mean? Even though it's like complicated. Because of everything that happened. And I think we know Echo tried to save her, and we don't know exactly what happened, but by that time she saw herself as Jinx. And let's be honest, Echo was the only one who wasn't there that night, which means he was the only one Jinx never accidentally killed. And like, they fought on purpose all the time, but like, even when they fought full out, they would stop, they would hesitate, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Jinx wants to kill Echo. I think Jinx wants Echo far away from her, because she doesn't want to be the reason he gets hurt. But she still kind of like needs Vi. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the thing. At least that's how I kind of read it. But like, you can see like, at the core, this is one character, especially with like, when we meet her at first, when she's a kid, and she just wants to help. And like, when she's upset, she's like listening to her music real loud and like, doing her thing. And we see that she has big emotions, and hasn't quite been able to handle them, and then isn't able to handle them as she's older. Because she's not being raised by someone who can teach her that. You know what I mean? Like Powder has better control. Like older Powder has better control because she was raised by Vandal mostly through that time of her life, and not Silka. But we can still see when she's like at Vice Shrine, she's like big emotion, but it's not screaming out of her. You know what I mean? But it's like still animated all over her face. Big emotion. And she's like healthy with it. And it's, I think it's funny, like Hexa kind of destroyed her life, but like in one universe, she saves, like in both universes, she like plays a role in saving it, but in one, it's like, she's literally just hidden it away, and the other, she fights. She literally changes, the battlefield in the end, with Echo. And then Vi, the character, we're introduced to Vi. She's like the leader of the group. She's kind of like coming to understand the responsibility of it. And everyone's like, Vandal's prodigy, probably going to be the next Vandal, blah blah blah. That's how everyone treats her. But in Nito's timeline, that's what happens, because she either dies, or her big plan goes so horribly wrong that it causes the chain of events of her family dying. And she goes to jail, and she comes back, and she doesn't take control of the lane. She tries to get Powder back, that doesn't work. She joins the police force, the enforcers, to try to stop Jinx and like everyone that's destroying the lanes. Because I always found it interesting. I was like, I can't believe she, like, you know, Echo's there, but she didn't join Echo. You know what I mean? She joined the enforcers. She joined, and we know it's partly because of Caitlyn. And I like Caitlyn's character. I like how she, like, released Vi from jail. She's, like, on this mission to find out what's actually happening. And it's, like, kind of this thing, like, she's always wanted to see how the world actually is, and not, like, behind the gate where she's locked up. And she wants to do, like, real good for the world. And she does. She gets Vi out, she goes down. They go on all these adventures, they fall in love, and then she has to deal with the loss of her mother, and she starts to like understand what hate is, but she can't. In the end, she's just tired of it, you know what I mean? She's tired of what hatred and pain has done for her, and she wants to move on. And she fights to protect her city. And she does lose her eye, but she still looks like a badass with an eye patch, which is cool. Vandal, I like how he like his like small character arc that's like he was Vi basically, and then he was responsible for all those he lost, and so he dialed it down and he became more of a peacekeeper. Maybe he should have built his teeth like a little more, showed his power a little more. I think the fact I like that he and the enforcers had a winning deal, but I think he needed to have like higher up, like a seat, you know, fight for a seat at the table, not just like a deal with her, you know. And I think that's what they eventually got in the other universe because of what happened to Vi, and probably because Hamadigo came back 3 years early. Silco is like villain orgy, so it's very interesting. But I think everyone likes his like how raising Jinx changes him. Because in the beginning he just doesn't understand how Vandal can turn his back on the cause, and then at the end he literally makes the choice to turn his back on the cause. He still dies, unfortunately, but he understands in the end, that, you know, like, family is the most important thing. Those you love are the most important thing. And if achieving your dreams means you lose your family, are your dreams really worth it? That's a really big question. You know what I mean? And then I love Aisha. I was so sad when she died. I was like, why? Why? One thing, just one. Come on. But I like how we're introduced to her. I like how she immediately attaches to Jinx. She basically saves Jinx from herself for a little while. Jinx saves her and she saves Jinx from herself. And she brings like the hero side out of Jinx, like, because Jinx originally just wanted to help. But she failed and now she thinks she can't. And here's Aisha believing that she can with like every fiber of her being. And so is like half of the Undercity. And she's just like, Jinx is like, what the fuck is this bullshit? I'm not a hero. I've never been a hero. I tried, I failed. But she does become the hero. Because again, that was always like who she was at her core, you know what I mean? Like, her mind took a hell of a beating from what happened. But right here didn't, you know? And that remained. I think Savika probably could tell the entire time. Savika, I feel like, knows Jinx the best at this point. You have that look in your eye again. What are you planning? You know what I mean? And I like how Savika's loyal to the Undercity, which is why she turns her back on Vandal. And why she, like, says, look, we gotta let Jinx not get in the middle of shit. It's not that she has a personal vendetta against Jinx. Jinx isn't helpful to the cause, that's all. But she does look after Jinx, and she does when Jinx becomes the best hope for the cause. She's always pestering the hell out of Jinx, and helping Jinx. And I love her and Jinx's, like, relationship. And I love Savika's, like, Jinx the arm. That shit's so great. That shit's so great. Hilarious. Yeah. Then Echo, best boy. Best boy. He's like, you could, like, I feel like his change and, like, personality, but then it's also, like, a persona he does, because he has, like, this leader persona, this, like, big back leader persona, and it's so jarring when it's the first time you see him after he was, like, this goofy, sassy little kid, that was just really smart, you know, and already, like, making things to do things and, like, can't quite stick up to Vi, but he's, like, arguing with Vi immediately. But then we see with Heimerdinger, like, that his, like, real personality come out. Like, the inventor come out, you know what I mean? Which is really cool, and you realize, oh, no, he's still the same at his core, he's got, like, this armor, this way Jinx has full armor, they both have their armor to survive. It's kind of like the duality, because in every timeline, it looks like Echo is always the boy savior, and in one timeline is Jinx Powder, but she's always the queen of the Undercity. And really, it's like Jinx literally becomes whatever the Undercity becomes, and Echo is just always fighting for a better Undercity. Which is really cool, and like Echo is the key to a better Undercity and a better Jinx, which is really cool, and that's why I love Time Bomb. But I won't shut up about Time Bomb later. Jace, you know, was definitely the blandest character. But I feel like, you know, like his progression was very good. He has this big hope, and all he sees is like his dream. And he goes to it, and, like, he has to fucking play corrupt politics and shit, and all this dumb shit he doesn't want to do. He just wants to invent things for people and help people's lives, and he's got all this fucking barriers to go through. And in the end, he realizes Heimerdinger was right from the beginning. It's too dangerous. There's consequences that you might not realize are gonna happen. And you can perform all the safety tests you want, but still. And so he fights to destroy it. And he does. And he's like a hero in there. But it's a shame he was never able to use it to like make people's lives better the way he wanted. Because he wanted to make their lives better. He didn't want the Undercity to be left behind. He wanted it to help elevate the Undercity as well. He was just never given the opportunity. And I think that's what's sad. And that's what's like part of the tragedy. If you put all these people in a room, and you put all their goals, they would have realized they all had a common goal that they could work towards. And they had every ability to achieve it. And that's like part of the big tragedy. Mel. I can't wait to see more of Mel. Her story is very good. Like, I first feel like she's kind of corrupt, but she's not like an evil person. She plays cook politics. She plays ball, you know? She plays the ball. She knows how to play the ball. She knows how to literally wield the ball, control the whole game, however she likes. And she's a little bored and pivotal, and I feel like if you walked over to the Undercity looking for potential, you'd find things. You know, you would never be bored. But she does invest in Hashtag for a better world. She does not believe in war. She is more of a pacifist. But when all is said and done, she is the wolf. She protects before she attacks. You know what I mean? Which is really good. Victor's story is very interesting. Because, we start off, he's this broken guy who just wants to help the world, has dreams, and he believes in himself, and that's like one of the things, he believes in himself. To a fault, you know what I mean? The Hextech thing, it goes too far, he says for it to be destroyed, and he gets turned by it, and then he becomes like, like a Jesus figure, and then he gets betrayed by Jace, and then he just goes like full into his thing, because he knows they want better lives, and you think he has the solution. But he doesn't, and when he realizes this, he literally goes back in time to fix his own mistake. Which is like, good, like, Victor is the villain, but at no point does he feel evil. The Hextech, everything that's going on is like, Victor, but we also get to see how he sees the world. And like, if you see the world like that, you're like, yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine, put your ideas. And then you're looking on the other side, you're going, oh shit, maybe not. Oh, Heimerdinger was right. From the start, justice for Heimerdinger. But I like how he like, kinda loans, maybe not loans, but you know what I mean? But like, time is different for the Yodel. He doesn't quite understand humans' urgency. All this was done in your brief lifespan. Yes, things can be achieved when you move quickly. And Heimerdinger really could have done more if he had realized this, you know what I mean? But like, even in like the time lapse, I don't think he fully realized it. But he did go down to save his people, because assuming in the ultimate timeline something bad happened to Jason, like, we have no idea what happened to Jason Victor in the other timeline. But I'm sure Heimerdinger would have looked into it. I'm like, what, something tragic happened to them? And we just don't know. But like, I was like, oh my god, not Heimerdinger, he's so cute. He was like when we first went to your room, I was like, cute little fuzzball, cute, like, you're my favorite input level. Cute little fuzzball. He was, and I loved his song. And I love that, like, he sings his song. The voice actor, nearly every voice actor of his sings the song in all the languages and all the countries, which is really good. Okay. That's all the character rambling. We're gonna go on the Time Bomb. Now, there are a bunch of other ships you can talk about, but Time Bomb is my favorite, and we have 20 minutes. So, and other things to talk about. So, like, I love Time Bomb. I don't know, it's always just, like, this type of ship I like, you know what I mean? But, like, they were best friends. And, like, the fight scene, oh my god. And, like, that look that they look at each other. And then the song is really good. The dance scene is really good. The 4 frames per second. We were robbed. We were robbed in the last episode. Okay, we all know this. We were robbed. But like, you know, the small Arcane stuff, we can still see more of them. You know what I mean? But I would have liked to like have seen that conversation with Echo and Jinx. I would have liked to have seen them building the thing together. The like 2 mirror scenes, they're like, yeah, we already had that scene. That's why you do it again. Highlight the differences, but also the same in the bond. There's a reason you do it again. But that's like another big old thing that I will elaborate in a minute. Arcane's like style is like, let's be honest, that's why it's such a big budget. Partly it's because of the style, but also fucking better than anything AI will ever make. It is fabulous, it is great, it is the only animation I want to watch. It's stuff that like time, dedication, everything in it, everything done. 10 years to make. Let's go. Let's make a thing. Let's make it as awesome as we can. And let's watch the whole world love it. Because when you do all this effort into something like this, everyone loves every little detail. And it's so good. And I love how like we switch the styles in season 2 for like the water paintings and the music videos. And all the things. And oh my god, I could never, oh my god. And then the music, like there's a ton of interviews. I have like an Arcane's panel playlist and like half of it is just Miko talking about the music. But it's really good. And like Arcane is the only other series besides Ruby that has the music like made for the characters and for the show. You know what I mean? And it's just really good. I think my favorite songs, Get Jinx, but that's not technically, but you know what I mean. I love the song that like represents the mother, All Love. That one. Snake I like a lot. What's the one that at the end, at the final scene, the Bonador dancing? What is it? Monster You Created. Love that one. So much. What Have They Done to Us? Love that one too. Especially, I like the album version a little better, just the chants. Which is cool. There's like, and then of course like the Jinx and Echo song. That's a big one I like as well. Just come play as well. Because that's like a very Echo and Jinx song as well. But it's like an Undercity song. Come fuck with us. Come on. Which is good. The pacing. That's like the big thing. Because like from the minute we go, it's like going hardcore. First scene, hardcore shit. Hardcore tragedy shit. Like, we never get much of a moment to breathe from the tragedy. Because any calm moment is setting up a new tragic ending. And it's a lot. And season 2 in particular, we all know, suffered from pacing. Or, it's like, this is another Ruby problem. Too much story and not enough time to tell it. Like, they got the budget. Maybe. But, like, Arcane needed, like, at least one third season to be, like, 10 out of 10 stars instead of, like, 8.5 to 9 out of 10 stars. And that's, like, that's a thing a lot. I feel like happens with, like, shows I like. Is, like, just not enough time to pack in all the story. That needs to happen. But, you know, that's okay. Hopefully with the, hopefully they, like, since that was such a big criticism, the next League of Legends TV shows take it into account, and they're like, alright, pace this correctly, let's not cut out things that the audience would, like, kill us to see. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna chat about. I do have an Arcane's playlist for all the panels that I've watched on it, just like I do the Ruby playlist. So check that out. Thanks for watching, stay random, and then I also should be coming up soon. I'm gonna go like a big look through of this. I can't record it today, I don't have the time. It's probably gonna be, I might live stream it, because it's just so big. I don't know. But, no, I think I'll record it. But yeah. Thanks for watching this Fangirl Ramble, guys. Stay random, like, subscribe, check out my Instagram. I want to get to 1,000 followers on there. Thank you.